Women in demographic change. Women are the entire key to demographic change. They are the holders of everything in this case. And basically, you can read here all some of the indicators that go into this. But and so all these are just different factors. But I mean, the biggest thing is if you educate women in your country, your birth rates will fall. There's just no if, ands, or buts about that. It is the universal, basically, truth of demographic policies, and also then your economy will become more developed because now you're putting more than half of your workforce back to work because educated women, well, they tend to work more, and they stay in their careers, and then therefore they have less kids. So to look at that, and here you go, fertility trends around the world, 1950 to 2050 here, and going out in the future as well. You'll see that the world is more and less coming together. But I think this chart and this little GIF here will help you through it a little more. That red is really high down to blue is really low total fertility rates. You can see here, so it's just progressing forward 5 years at a time. Trend of the world, decrease. You might see minor blips where total fertility rate increases here or there, but for the most part, it's just decrease, 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 decrease. I'm going to let it play again here. If not, I'll scroll back and forth again. There we go. It's going automatically here. So, I mean, you look here, just everybody in the world. I mean, even look at Africa as a continent. You have some red there, and then at the turn of the century still. That was really the only spot where there was red. And now as we move forward, it's just every place in the world is blue. And we really have not seen any substantial increase of anywhere else in the world because, well, the desire for smaller families has taken hold in the world, and we're not really sure how that's going to change moving forward. And that's why that 2100 year is becoming more and more important. Here again, total fertility rate and gross domestic product. You can see here that the total fertility rates are lower in these countries with gross domestic, or the total fertility rates are lower where gross domestic product is higher. It's mainly due to the fact you're educating women. Now, other ways that rates have dropped is that children are expensive. Children are really expensive. You can maybe hear two of my kids right now in the background of this. But you also have urbanization, smaller living spaces. Okay, that you have. Where was I looking? Here we go. Most urbanized to least urbanized, and this is just among Muslim majority countries. That while religion does play a role, as we've talked about, in general, there's really the more it's still urbanized is a better trend. That the more urbanized the country is, the less likely are people to have kids, and vice versa. Now, and this goes back to careers a little bit. Let's look at the stats. In the coming decades, women will continue to be slightly less than half the labor force. Okay, this is Pew Research stuff, and more millennials say women are more focused on careers than men are, and that's all just leading to lower total fertility rates. Other impacts here: later marriages and role of family planning. There we go. This is not the best map in the world, but it gives you, because it's a Mercator map with just ugliness here going on, but it does give you average marriage rates and just shows here total fertility rates are lower the later you're going to get married. And then the last one here, this is from our book, and this is women's use of family planning. And so, more or less, family planning will resolve around birth control, IUDs, which is a form of birth control, condoms, and etc. here. And so if you look at these three countries at the bottom, this gets at birth rates again. So look at Nigeria. Nigeria, it's over 80% of women use no form of method at all. Well, obviously your birth rates are going to be higher. Now, China provides the interesting circumstance where when this was done, you were basically at the end of the one-child policy. Okay, and you had female sterilization and IUD, so a female type of birth control going on. And if you can look that up on your own if you want, but then not using here. But then if you look at Germany here, and it was most people were on the pill, but then you had some not using because Germany has a pretty large Catholic population. And so while religion does play a role, it is not the end all be all of things here. So what you're looking at here is just how the world looks. And so family planning usage obviously is going to be different with birth rates. All right, things to remember here. These are really important. These are kind of universal truths of demographic change.